Hey guys, OGalbina here, bringing you guys our BBL Season 8 Semi-Finals battle against Pat Mac and his Sacramento Sand Slash. Pat Mac's a really cool dude. He's had a great season in his debut season here in BBL, so if you go check him out in the description, I'd really appreciate it, as well as drop a like on this video and sub to the channel if you haven't done so already. We're pushing towards 1,000 subs, and I would greatly appreciate it if you helped us out along that journey. But yeah, that being said, we can kind of jump into it. Semifinals, big game. I'm definitely nervous. It's also a rematch from the regular season in a game in which we lost. It started our 3-game losing streak in the middle of the season. We haven't lost since that last loss against Ape Raider, so I'd like to keep it going that way so we don't have to go home here empty-handed in the BBL. So, that being said, we're going to jump into a team builder just to see what we're bringing, why we're bringing it, so you have the background now. Excuse me, and context going into the battle. If you do want to skip ahead to the battle, there's a timestamp on the screen right now, as well as in the description below on when that starts. But yeah, with that being said, let's jump into it. So our team, if you did forget, is at the top of the screen, and it consists of Palkia, Tapu Koko, Ferrothorn, Urshifu Single Strike, Gengar, Seismitoad, Licky Licky, Uxie, Entei, and Regieleki. While our opponent's team is at the bottom of the screen, and it consists of Cinderace, which can be Libero, and will probably be Libero, Landorus, Therian, Keldeo, Grimmsnarl, Vikavolt, Stakataka, Miltank, Dragology, Cloyster, Lurantis, and Lugia. Very, very interesting team, very momentum heavy team surrendering around like that really solid momentum core of his top 3 in Keldeo, Landorus, and Cinderace. It's a bit of a weird Lugia draft. I think that's kind of evident by, like, if you've watched the season throughout the season like I have, you kind of notice that he hasn't really brought in Lugia all too much. Whereas someone like me, I've brought both my Ubers to every single game, and I plan on bringing them to every game. So I don't think he's supported Lugia all too well, but the rest of his team is very, very scary nonetheless. And Lugia is actually very good versus me. A Calm Mind variant is very tough for me to deal with if I'm not aptly prepared for it. So speaking of which, having an aptly prepared Pokemon, we can kind of jump into our first mon right here in our Palkia, rocking out the leftovers. Pressure as its ability, Spatial Run, Surf, Toxic, and Protect. EVs does get 124 HP. Full defense, 180 special attack, 4 speed F, and 188 speed with a timid nature. Now, speed-wise, I believe we are just creeping Landorus. I want to say we're creeping Landorus. I forgot to write down notes this week, I'm sorry, but I think I mostly remember what all the EVs are for. And then I think our HP plus our defense is going to allow us to live a banded high jump kick from Cinderace from full, which is great. And we can obviously protect and scout. And that's going to be Ty's damage output move versus me, because I don't think that Gunk Shot comes. Don't think he needs the coverage. He might for Coco, but again, I don't think he needs the coverage, to be completely honest. And then, yeah, leftover and special attack. I'm going to get like 4 leftover and special attack just because the EVs work. This Pokemon's really good because there are very limited pivots to this Pokemon, and it's realistically just Miltank if that comes, and Lugia, right? But Toxic Protect is really, really going to help us beat those things 1v1. Like, Miltank does not beat us 1v1 if we're Toxic Protecting and then Surfer Spatial running it down. And Lugia, it probably sees Palkia as honestly a setup opportunity. So, being able to Toxic and Protect that thing is really, really clutch, especially depending on the coverage. Last time, I believe he was Calm Mind, but I don't remember what flying coverage he was. He might have been Air Slash, and I feel like he should be Air Slash if he, you know, kind of sees what we brought last time in the same exact set and doesn't want to get PP stalled out of Aero Blast. And we honestly chew up hits at +1, +2 just because Lugia isn't inherently strong, it's just so bulky. So as long as we can get that Toxic off, we're in a good spot versus it, you know, personally. So that's great. And Special Run obviously can crit through it a little bit, especially when the multi-skill is permanently broken. That can be really, really nice in its own right. It's a great Keldeo check. It offensively checks the heck out of Landorus, which is a big issue versus me because I have no ground resist again. So yeah, just does a really, really good job in this matchup, and excited for Palkia to put in work once again, hopefully. Next up, we have Tapu Koko rocking down with the heavy-duty boots. Who would have thunk it? Electric Surge is ability, Thunderbolt, U-Turn, Defog, and Dazzling Gleam. EVs has got 204 HP, 12 defense, 120 special attack, and 172 speed with timid nature. My biggest downfall versus Pat Mac last time was that I did not have anything for webs, really. Well, I think I brought Defog on Coco. I don't think I could keep the webs off. I think Coco went down a little bit early, so we're gonna have to be a little bit more careful with it, because I think if webs go up, I really do have a tough time against things like a Bandurus or just like offensive Landorus and Cinderace and Keldeo and all these big, big threats to me. If I can't control the speed versus them with my very, very offensive team and draft, it's really tough for me to deal with them overall. So it's going to be our Defogger this week. It outspeeds everything. It can do a lot of damage to things like Cinderace, which is, again, really, really great for us. And yeah, Sims is a great pivot. It's going to force in that Landers a lot, but if we can catch it with U-turns, get into our Palkia, we're going to put ourselves in a good position. Next up, we have our Toad rocking out the Rocky Helmet. Water Absorb as its ability, Earth Power, Scald, Rest, and Sleep Talk. EV's to get 244 HP, max defense, and 12 speed def with a impish nature, bold nature. I always forget. I think it's bold. Yeah, it's definitely bold. But yeah, really, really solid mon in the matchup. And checking things like the Cinderace. We're rocking Helmet because I at least want to punish those Libero U-turns, so where he isn't getting absolutely free momentum. And if he's protective paths or something like that, then he's not boots, which is great because we can get up rocks and be annoying. And we do have rocks later on the team, despite us having defog on this build. It also serves as a soft Landers check. It serves as a soft Keldeo check, as long as it's not a setup Keldeo. And especially if it's like Secret Sword or something like that, we can check it pretty well. Even like sub-toxic variants, which could be very, very annoying for our team, we can check very, very solidly. So that's obviously nice. And yeah, it's a bit passive versus other things like the Lugia especially. But again, we're just going to have to outposition the Lugia. I'm definitely really worried about it though, if you can't tell. Next up, we have a Choice Specs Gengar rocking out with Curse Body as its ability, Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave, Focus Blast, and Destiny Bond. EV's wise, we got 244 speed, max special attack, and 12 defense with a timid nature. We're creeping a Keldeo. In hindsight, I should just be max speed. I should be max speed, because there's a Lugia, and if webs go up, I would like to speed tie a max speed Lugia. Because I think he viably could do just like max HP, max speed, because it's still bulk in its own right. It doesn't need to run hella bulk in order to deliver the hits it needs to versus my team. So I kind of wish, or no, yeah, and not even if webs go up, because we're not Scarf, we're Specs. So we actually, if he's fast Lugia, have the potential to just be outsped by it. So I think this is a really dumb creep by me, to be completely honest. I should have just thrown that 12 into speed. I don't really know what I was thinking in that sense, but hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us. Regardless, it does do really, really well in this matchup. His ghost resist is Miltank, which, you know, is a decent one, but Sludge Wave is looking very, very free because Steel type is Stack Attack. And if I have to give you one piece of advice, ladies and gentlemen, is do not draft Stack Attack as your main Steel type. It's going to leave you wide open to a lot of scary things. I remember when J-Bear played him earlier this season with the Xerneas. It was not good for him. So I'm hoping Gengar can have like a similar tiny kind of effect with just stab Sludge Waves throwing him off. But we'll see. Because I also don't think that Stack Attack comforts me. I don't think it's very good. But we'll see. Next up, we have our Urshifu rocking out the Choice Scarf, Unseen Physics ability, Wicked Blow, Close Combat, Sucker Punch, and U-Turn. EV-wise, we got max attack, 212 speed, and 44 HP with a Jolly Nature. I believe, again, just creeping Landorus, I want to say. But really good in this matchup as well. His Wicked Blow resists are kind of non-existent. He has Grimmsnarl, which takes like 30% from U-Turn. Gets like 2-hit KO'd after rocks by close combat. He can't like Thunder Wave Prankster shenanigans us or anything like that. And again, no reliable recovery outside of him being either Rest, which is risky with electric terrain, and us being able to pivot Coco if we really want to, or with like Draining Kiss, I suppose, which again, we have a Ferrothorn. So it's really hard for him to check Urshifu over the course of the game, and it provides great speed control. It can't be buffered by Intimidate with that Landorus if we're just clicking Wicked Blow. So this thing, clicking Wicked Blow in the end game, is kind of our end plan, because it's really, really free to do so. And then lastly, right? We have Uxie rocking out with the Leftovers. Levitate as the ability, Psychic, U-Turn, Toxic, and Stealth Rock. EV's going to get 244 HP, 140 defense, and 124 def with a Calm Nature. This is just kind of a choose all pivot versus his team. It gives me a good rocker. It gives me a ground immunity, which I think is really important in case he wants to go Scarf Landers again, or like Choice Band Landers. I want at least an immunity. Now I take a milli from U-Turn, but I want to stop him from being able to just click U-Turn like he did. I mean, click Earthquake like he did last time. Because again, I don't have a ground resist, so that's a little bit scary. We check Keldeo very, very well, and we can pivot into like non-sub Lugias and Toxic it, and then U-Turn out and be in a pretty decent spot as well, because it's not going to be able to Oko us with like anything when it starts boosting up. Because we're Uxie, we're Spadef, and it's just not going to be able to do that kind of damage. So I think that's nice. And then again, rocks are really, really nice. If he's not like Boot Cinderace and he's like a band variant, or again, protective pads because he's scared of Helmet, things like that, we're going to be able to put him in a pretty tough spot with this and really just put everything slowly into range of that Urshifu. So that's going to be the team. Be right back at the battle. Alrighty guys, here we are with the battle. Let's see what Pat Mac ended up bringing here.
in this game. I would honestly assume a very similar team to last time, if I had to guess. We'll see, though. See, I think everything the same except... No, yeah, everything the same, because he brought Lugia last time. He doesn't bring Lugia a lot, which I've noticed. But he brings the Landers against a team that does not have a ground resist. We do have a ground immunity this time, which is nice, but I don't know how long he'll be on the field. A Vikavolt, a Grim Snarl. Not a Grimer. I typed in Grimer to the team builder. Grim Snarl. We have a Lugia and a Libero Cinderace. I think I'm actually going to lead Gengar because I feel like it punishes the Vikavolt the most for setting up webs, and I actually don't have good defensive counterplay to Vikavolt, so I want to attack it and do a lot of damage as quickly as humanly possible. So that's what we're going to do. Obviously, nice. Good luck, have fun to Pat-Mac. Hopefully, we can walk away with a dub. I'm pretty darn nervous. We lost this matchup last time, but I think... my big downside was... I almost just punched my mic. I think my biggest downfall was not preserving Koko long enough to make sure that webs were 100% off of the field. And hopefully we can do so this time, because webs kind of bone me a little bit. It really helps in my Urshifu endgame if they're gone. So, which is definitely a very, very possible endgame. I think either Wicked Blow or Close Combat is pretty free to click throughout the course of the game, but especially later in the game when we can eliminate one or two of, like, which resistance is there. Like, if we get rid of Keldeo and Grimmsnarl or something like that, I think Wicked Blow is, like, dummy free. We see Ronaldo lead off, which is going to be the Cinderace. Oh, it's my custom shiny. That means it's like a shiny Cinderace, which is an ugly Pokemon. But we're going to lead off with our Gengar, and I always go Hard Toad here. He can, like, high jump kick, but I think he has to be banned to 2-hit KO me, or, like, boosting item, and at least gives me that information. That is what this Pokemon is here for. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead. Get into our Seismitoad, and we're going to calc on the side how much Cinderace is going to do to us, depending on its item. So we're at 211 full right now. He's going to U-turn. 211 down to... is Libero. Darn! 211 down to 159. He's Protective Pads. Okay, cool. It's good to know. Protective Pads, so if we can get a Rocks later on with Uxie, that's, like, phenomenal. We know Protective Pads. U-turn. Pod Racer is gonna come out. I'm actually gonna go hard Gengar. I don't think you Thunderbolt. I think if anything, you Bug Buzz, E-Ball, or Sticky Web on this turn, and I want to exert offensive pressure, and I can defog later on, so let's see what we can do. And I actually feel pretty darn comfortable just dropping a massive Shadow Ball right here. His Shadow Ball resistance is Grimmsnarl, and this thing, yep, Energy Ball, cool. So he is going to, you know, take this hit relatively hard at this point too, which is nice. Now as for my Gengar, we don't Oko with Sludge Wave, so I want to make sure we 2-hit KO the max HP variant, which we should because we're specs. Level 50. Sludge Wave has a chance of killing offensive, but I don't think he's going to be, like, fast offensive. I think that's, like, psychopathic. So we're just going to click Shadow Ball here, because it covers, like, a weird Landers pivot. We are going to Shadow Ball. If he likes to get up his webs, that's great, because we can 2-hit KO. He is pretty bulky. We get a Spadef drop, which is nice. And he is going to Volt Switch. So this thing is incredibly low. And our Gengar should survive. Very, very low HP, but it does survive. The only issue is, unfortunately, we're going to be in range of a U-turn from a Landerish Earthquake, or in range of a U-turn from a Landers Earthquake. Good job, Owen. But we're going to be in range in general. But he's actually going to elect to go into Big Ronaldo, which is also fair. What do I want to do here? This is actually a really tough play. This is good positioning for him. Really bad positioning for me. My Scald has a good chance of knocking out a Vikavolt, and he has to be incredibly fast to knock us out. So I think I'm actually going to go into Seismitoad. I don't think you high jump kick here. And again, we'll figure out kind of move full and stuff like that. And if he goes for like a Sucker Punch here or a Pyro Ball, I'll actually Assurance. Interesting. So that's actually good to know. Assurance. Froxy? Interesting. Okay, 116. I do want to see Cinderace at level 50. Does this kill me with a high jump kick? It does not if it's Jolly. So I think I'm actually gonna just Scald here, because I don't want to allow that thing in for free, the Vikavolt on Arrest. And I can potentially position Arrest later, but I don't know if it's like 100% needed either. So I'm just gonna click Scald. It's gonna U-turn, which is definitely a very, very fair play. I don't think you should really make a play otherwise, because he just risks dying to a dying after high jump, or taking a burn after high jump kick. Not dying, definitely doesn't die. That's obviously nice. We'll get a Scald off here. Hopefully Lugia isn't the one that comes out. Then I kind of wish I would have rested, but if he goes hard into the Vikavolt trying to take advantage of us, getting up rocks or something like that, we're in a really good spot. So, yeah. We'll see what we can do. Sorry, my dad just called me. I told him I'm recording. Okay, he's definitely thinking right here, and I'll take the downtime. Maybe throughout the game, he'll be in a worse position overall, timer-wise. But I don't expect this to be a game that goes to timer. The team I have built is not bulky enough to ever do so. He is gonna go Vikavolt, so I'm really glad I Scalded here and didn't rest. That's amazing. Now I probably won't have to defog with Koko, which is cool. Scald. We don't knock it out, but I am gonna stay in and just 2-hit KO this thing. I'm going to stay in and just 2-hit KO it. We'll go from there. We will go from there. He is going to withdraw. Very, very low Vikavolt. He's going to go into Colt, which is his Keldeo. A burn would actually be pretty nice on this thing, just to chip it down over the course of the game. Cool. Now, it's not toxic, but whatever. Not the biggest deal in the world. And right here, he is going to take a little bit of burn, negating his leftovers, and it's good to know that he's leftovers, not like Specs, because Specs is really scary versus me. I was really scared of Specs, because I felt like it could pretty freely click a lot of different buttons. So, let's go ahead and go into Uxie, and I think I might actually throw off a Toxic here. Flip Turn would be an incredibly aggressive play by him, especially because I am so low, so I may just elect to sack off this Pokemon in general. He's going to sub. Okay, he's burned, so he's not getting any health back. I'm fine with that. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to Psychic. Sub-CM won't beat me when he's burned. And I don't think CM can avoid a Psychic breaking sub at +1. So, that's free chip for me. That's Palkia range now. Which I'll take. He's going to Toxic here. So he's sub-Toxic. Good to know. So that burn's actually really nice. Substitute. Toxic. Either Surf or Secret Sword, maybe Protect. I don't know. What I am going to do, though, is I think I'm actually going to get up my rocks. I think I am going to actually get up my rocks. Or I could Toxic here. Maybe Toxic is a better play. Or I could get up my rocks on a Vikavolt sack, though, is the only thing. And I really like getting up my rocks on a Vikavolt sack. I'm gonna rocks up. The reason I want a Toxic is to punish like a Grimmsnarl or a Lugia switch, but see what we can do about those. We'll see what we can do about those. And I can get a slow U-turn on like a Lugia or something like that. If he's sub, I can try and play around it accordingly. See his speed tier, things like that. But yeah, I'm gonna get my rocks here. If he wants to sack this off, he can choose to sack it off, but yeah, I didn't think he would. If anything, he would click Protect if he had it there. Yes, okay, we got off the rocks on the Vikavolt sack, which is awesome. I'm super happy about that. I'm super, super happy about that. As rocks are gonna go up, which is great, because I know he's not Boot Cinderace. I know he's Protective Pads. So that's legit awesome. And from this point, I feel pretty darn comfortable. Just going. Well, my U-turn actually kill. Actually, because if I can U-turn and kill, it puts me in a better position. Vikavolt from like, let's say 7% and be a little bit more like liberal with it. 252. I do 11% minimum to max HP, so I'm gonna U-turn. Because it makes me take less chip on my Uxie here. Again, I really don't think he'll survive this, as he does go down. So big Uxie getting up rocks, U-turn and killing this thing. That's honestly like best case scenario for me. Best case scenario for me. And I think I actually have an incredibly free Urshifu, right? He does not have good Urshifu counterplay. If he goes Landorus, I can just U-turn and probably sack off my Seismitoad at this point. I don't think I get a rest off anymore. See? Don't think I do. I don't think I need to. I keep forgetting that I have my freaking custom sprite. They go for the regular instead of the shiny on this one. Okay. But yeah, that was best case scenario for me. Getting up my rocks and U-turning on that Vikavolt sack. Mwah, amazing. Phenomenal for me. And now he does get to pick what he goes into, but I know the Kaleo's leftovers. I know the Cinderace is not scarfed either. So I'm in a good spot. If anything, I think he may go Landorus. He may go Lugia if he's Boots, because he'll be able to chew through multi-scale. But I think I will just U-turn. I think I'll just U-turn out. And go from there. I'll U-turn, sack my Seismitoad, maybe go right back into Urshifu. If he goes into the Lugia and he takes rocks, he's probably Colbur. Yuri's cousin. Grimmsnarl. Cool, so he can't T-Wave me. Frisk. Okay, so he's not Prankster. These are all good things to know. I think what I'm going to do is just U-turn. And him giving me Chip on this thing is so good. And I'm Scarf, so I don't have to worry about, like, random Scarf Grimmsnarl or anything like that. I get U-turn Chip, Rocks Chip, and Rocky Helmet Chip with my, what do you call it, in the back? Which is, again, amazing. This thing being gone is Sucker Punch priority out of the way. My Gengar can come in and click Shadow Ball and, you know, a couple things. Which is great. And, yeah, I like this positioning. This is good positioning right now. As we do U-turn and do a lot of damage, to be completely honest. That's like close combat range next time he comes in. And from here, I think we're just gonna sack off Seismitoad to get a little bit of Rocky Helmet damage. And then we have a very, very free Dazzling Gleam. Like an incredibly free Dazzling Gleam. So, I'll take it. He's gonna Dazzling Gleam. Okay, so never mind. He's special. Also good to know. So he's special Grimmsnarl. He's Frisk as well. I presume Assault Vest. Again, fine with me. Now, do I want a Dazzling Gleam or do I want a U-turn? I don't think I can U-turn in case he's over-aggressive and he wants to get Chip off on this thing. Yeah, I don't think that's in my best interest. I really don't. So, I think I'm just gonna Dazzling Gleam. Because it'll chip down the Landorus on the switch in. And that's obviously nice for me. So, that's what we're gonna do. And, yeah, Palkia is also looking really, really good at this point. He does not have a switch into Palkia. Spatial Run plus Surf is really good against his team outside of the Lugia, and we can Toxic Protect that thing down. Unless it's sub-Lugia, which is annoying, but it's something we can do. He is gonna switch out, presumably into the Landorus, yeah. But this is great chip because I don't have a ground resist. So, like, that's not bad. He's going to get intimidated. He's going to take rocks. Now, I am going to switch out regardless here, even if this is a 2-hit KO because of, it's not a 2-hit KO. Leftovers. Okay, actually, so no, I'm not. I'm going to U-turn. And I might even make a super aggressive play after this U-turn. So we know that he's leftovers Landorus. He has no Scarfer. So presumably, Koko is the fastest thing on the field at all times, which is incredibly valuable to have, where no webs exist. And again, him being leftovers is so good for me. And not Scarf or Band. I really do think a U-turn comes out, so I really, really want to go into my Palkia. I really do. Or I could go into Urshifu, because I don't need health on it. Like, I really don't need health on Urshifu. Yeah, I don't need health on it. I 4 times resist Sucker Punch was the only priority, and I outspeed everything because there is no Scarfer on this team. So that's what we're doing. That's unfortunate. Gengar is a sack now. So he's leftovers. Urshifu. To a Landorus. I'm surprised he went with like a... let's see how much Wicked Blow does to a max HP variant. A lot of damage. Regardless, I think Wicked Blow is my click here then. Yeah. I think Wicked Blow is my click here. I have a sack in Gengar now, which is nice, I suppose. It's unfortunate that it's a sack, because it could have claimed a kill otherwise, but I'll take it. He's gonna go into the Grimmsnarl. And I'm not gonna be able to 2-hit KO here, but I do a lot of damage, and he's not gonna be able to take this for long. So let's go ahead and Wicked Blow. This is a 4x resist though, so that's a little unfortunate. Hit. That's a 2-hit KO next time though. And I think I am just gonna sack off my my Gengar. Now, I do want to see, actually, does my Palkia kill an AV Grimmsnarl from here? He's at about 26-27%. Grimmsnarl, max HP, level 50, Assault Vest. I do 34% minimum to Assault Vest Grimmsnarl. If he's max Spadef, I do not as much. I wish I could just U-turn there, but it's okay. But we're gonna sack off Gengar. He's not like screens or anything like that. Dazzling Gleam, it's fine. Okay. Now what do we want to go into? I feel like I can just go Koko, right? I feel like I can very, very easily just go Koko, because I'm not taking chip on anything too because of this. So, just go Koko. I'm gonna Dazzling Gleam. If he's like max Spadef, it is a roll. Like, plus Spadef nature. Calm. Yeah, it's a roll in my favor. Like, if he's at like 26%. Actually, no, it's not. He's at 26. But regardless, I get to Dazzling Gleam here, and I think I pick up a 2-hit KO on the Landers coming in. He is just gonna give me this Pokemon, which is great. So down goes Grimmsnarl. Wicked Blow endgame looking a little bit nicer. Which is nice. Yeah, Electric Terrain is going to go away now. But not the biggest deal. Now what is he going to go out into? He's going to go out into... I have to ensure that that Lugia doesn't have a sub if it's like a sub variant. He's going to go into Landorushu. And I think the only unfortunate thing is that this this positioning does really force me into going into my Uxie, and if he U-turns, I'm in a kind of tough spot, but because that lets in Lugia for free, which I don't like particularly, but we'll do what we can. And we'll go from there. So we're gonna go Uxie here. If he Earthquakes here, mwah, amazing. So good for me. If he U-turns, I'm in a bit of a tough spot. If he knockoffs, I'm also fine, I think. Yeah, which is probably his play at that point. He does finally U-turn, and that is a lot of damage. So I still think that's a very offensive Landorus, because that did a ridiculous amount. And at this point, I think I have to U-turn on an incoming Lugia, if that's what comes in. If he goes Cinderace, I think I'm just going to Psychic it. Although this takes Rocks Chip, which is, again, really good for me. That's amazing. And if he U-turns, he's going to have to come in again later. These are all good things for me. And if he goes for an Assurance, he's a Dark type, which means I get to go into Koko and get to claim a KO. Which, again, really good for me. But the only thing is, I can't go hard Koko. If he goes for an Assurance, I'm in a bad spot. If he goes for like a Pyro Ball, I'm in a bad spot. I think I am just going to U-turn, because if I keep this in the sack, keep this in the back as a sack, that's not terrible positioning for me either. So, see what we could do. He's holding on to that Lugia in the back too, so it's presumably WinCon Lugia, probably like a Calm Mind variant or something like that. He is going to, sure, just fair. But something else has to come in. This gives me initiative, which is important. So we are going to go down a Pokemon here, like in the grand scheme of things, but again, this gives me initiative, which is good. Initiative is good. Nope, I'm not going to start. Let's go into Lugia. I want to calc and see what happens. That guy. Go bonanza. Okay. So, Lugia. Max HP variant. He's gonna go into it. Is he boots? Let's see. He is boots. So that's interesting to note. I'm gonna go into Palkia here. Which is interesting, but I think definitely still an okay play. We'll see. I'll probably Toxic into Spatial Rend. Let's do that. We'll Toxic here. Toxic here. Go from there. If I let my Koko get Toxic by the Keldeo, I'm in a pretty tough spot against this thing because I don't have recovery and it can kind of just like Calm Mind once and then roost forever, which is really annoying because this one's super dumb. So this Lugia can still definitely beat me, but I think if I can get rid of this thing, I'm in a good position to win the game with Koko, provided I get chip on the Landorus. So that's also really nice. He has to be very careful about his Landorus, like incredibly careful. I can also win with Wicked Blow as well. Something else to keep in mind. Something else to keep in mind. He's gonna Calm Mind here. Okay. So we get this Toxic off. We're in an okay position, but I need to get this Toxic off. I need to get this Toxic off. Please hit. You hit. Cool. So that is a Toxicing Palkia for you. Once again, coming up clutch. I think we brought Sub-Toxic versus Amo week 1, and then we also brought Toxic versus Patmac the first time we played him. And this Pokemon just, like, isn't strong. So if he's, like, Air Slash. Or also, what do you call it? Pressure. So that's also something that's really good for us. I'm just gonna Spatial Rend, though. How Air Slash at +1, it just does not do a lot of damage. So I'm just gonna Spatial Rend here. If I can get a crit, 9%. That +1. Count this damage. If I get a crit with Spatial Rend, which is a high crit move, I do 50%. So, take it. He's gonna Aeroblast. He's gonna miss the first one. That's so good. Wait, Aeroblast is 8 PP, right? Into a crit. Give me a crit. Okay. Wait, so he's Aeroblast. He's gonna run out of moves. Aeroblast. I'll click it again. He's not pressure, obviously, so that's good to know. I didn't see it when he came in. Like, I wasn't paying attention, but I obviously have not lost multiple moves, which is good. Him missing Aeroblast does suck. That's a, what, 95% accurate move. So that blows. But, I'm gonna Aeroblast again. I think that only has 8 PP at max. I think I'm going to Spatial Rend here again, because I think he's going to roost. Because he dies to poison if I just protect, right? But I also stay healthier if I just protect. That's my best play. Like, if he lets us go down, I have not shown Protect. I'm gonna Protect. I'm gonna Protect. I've decided. That's what's happening. Protect time. We're gonna Protect. Do we see him go? Yes! Let's go! I'm so glad I didn't overplay. Oh my god, that's so nice. Okay, Lugia's gone. Palkia is decently healthy. Let's see if a non-boosting item, Cinderace, kills us with high jump kick from here. Let's see. Level 50. Jump kick. Probably doesn't kill us from this range, right? He has shown U-turn, Assurance. Right. He's shown U-turn and Assurance. I didn't see what HP number I'm at, but that put me in such a good spot. I think we might be able to pull it off. We'll see. I know he's not Scarf Landorus this time, which, amazing. Goes out into Colt. Which I think I'm fine with. Don't DC, don't DC. Thank you. I think I am gonna go Koko. I think Coco's my play here. I think saving health from this thing is nice. And it's faster than Landers and it beats it. Fuck. Well, I'll be back, I guess. Hold on, I gotta find the stop recording button. Alrighty guys, we're back. We're gonna just finish this game on Showdown. I know you see us all having 6 mons, but we should have everything back to around the range it was. Landers was at 50%, he said, before that rock switch, and this thing was at 61, but he was okay with it being at 62. Have fun, man. And I believe the Cinderace is taking that 1 turn of rocks. We're at 62 on our Palkia, and then our other 2 mons are completely healthy. So we should be completely fine. I'm gonna make the same play that I made before in going hard Tapu Koko. Just because I don't want this thing to take any chip that it doesn't need to take. So that's what we're gonna do. And yeah, hopefully we can take home this end game. I think we can with solely just the move Wicked Blow. And if he sacks off his Landorus to my incoming Koko, then I win with close combat. So I think we should be fine. He can't go hard Cinder on my Koko because I could just D-Gleam into T-Bolt and knock it out. And I can just basically stay in until the end of time. I'm pretty sure. So, again, we'll see what we can do. We will see what we can do. He is going to Aura Sphere right here, so he's not Secret Sword. Regardless, though, it is Dazzling Gleam time right here, and this should put us in what I imagine a checkmate scenario. We'll see, though. Again, just pretend like none of these Pokemon are here. Like the Seismitoad, the Gengar, and the Uxie, they are dead. Everything else should be the same. Same thing with his. So as soon as I kill his last 3 remaining Mons, which is Keldeo, Landorus, Cinderace, or he does the same to me with my Palkia, Urshifu, or Koko, it's a wrap. So we're just going to Dazzling Gleam here, and I think this puts us in a winning scenario. At least I'd like to think so. Sorry, I'm getting Twitter replies and stuff like that. By the way, follow me on Twitter, because I've been doing lots of videos based on those, I'm sure you guys have seen, and they've been really fun. So definitely do that. We are going to Dazzling Gleam, he gives me that, and I think Wicked Blow wins the game now. So that's all we're going to spam. We're just going to Dazzling Gleam again. And we win with Urshifu. Pretty sure we win with Urshifu at the very least. Because Dazzling Gleam, I think, puts him in range of rocks. So, that's what we're going to do. Wicked Blow seems incredibly free. I should always... You get to see my calc now. I should always knock that thing out to... Let's see, Urshifu to a Cinderace at 50%. Wicked Blow does knock it out. Shit. Okay, he's Rock Polish. He's Rock Polish, Earthquake, U-turn. That's super bad. Does my Palkia live? Uh-oh. Landorus. Uh-oh. Landorus Therian. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Or is it my play to go Urshifu? Palkia. 50. With an Adamant Earthquake. It can. This is scary. Earthquake, Adamant, with a crit. From 99. No, that's not. I don't want to crit Stealth Rock. Crit has a 50% chance to Oko after Rock. So we're gonna go into this, and I'm gonna click Wicked Blow. Actually, is Sucker Punch my play? No, because I feel like that's a game-losing play. He showed U-turn too, so I know that Earthquake is his mono attack. Earthquake is the only move that he can attack me with. So I'm gonna click Wicked Blow. I'm just gonna click Wicked Blow. I think Sucker Punch is a choke. Awesome. Okay, so that's gonna be game. We should win. We should win. Because this is Pad Cinderace, so we should win the game. Let's go. Okay, so we won. GG's. Awesome. Ooh, that was scary. I mean, it makes sense that he's like, you know, mono attack Earthquake, because I could be a late game win con versus me, but we are going to win that game, I believe 2-0 on the back of Urshifu, and we're going to finals, baby. BBL finals next week. I'm not going to spoil who we play. It's either Jesse 504 or Matt O'Shea, so go watch the videos and, you know, go check that out. Two very good players, though, so regardless, we have our work cut out for us, and I'm definitely excited. So drop a like if you enjoyed, sub if you're new. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the